Hi, welcome to the Violet Hour. Not really, this is actually my kitchen. My name is Abe. I'm the general manager at the Violet Hour. The Violet Hour is great for um, first dates in terms of the lighting, not so great for cocktail demonstrations. So, lighting is better here. Welcome to my home. And we are going to be talking and walking through a cocktail for the season called Why Not? Because you guessed it. Why not? So, this cocktail is a lovely riff on a Vieux Carré cocktail from New Orleans um, with a couple different changes. First things first, let's grab something to mix our cocktail with. I like to use a larger side of a cocktail shaker. Glass stirring vessels are perfectly fine. Metal holds temperature a lot better than glass, so I prefer sometimes to use that. With this cocktail, we're going to start with our bitters. A couple dashes of orange bitters. Next, we're going to add lovely bergamot liqueur, Italicus, just a half an ounce. Bergamot, it's like the great grandmother of oranges and citrus fruit. Next is Dolin Blanc, a blonde style French vermouth. We're going to do 3/4 of an ounce. Then next we're going to grab our wonderful Dickel Tennessee Whiskey number 12. Super smooth whiskey coming at you at 90 proof. The filtration that charcoal filtration that Tennessee whiskeys use lends to a very smooth, flavorful whiskey. The mouthfeel is really luscious, but it has a lot of the familiar baking spices that we know and love in bourbons, right? So it's got vanilla, it's got some caramel, some clove, but again, way smoother and less of the baking spice bite in your face. That sometimes you want, but sometimes smooth is nice. Next is I did an ounce of that. I went too fast. An ounce of the Dickel. Next is an ounce of Ranzacapa, a very lovely rum blend of different aged rums. Some of the rum is aged up to 23 years. Super delicious. Molasses, right, is the base of this distillate, but aged in used barrels, so you pick up a lot of those vanilla, oak, all those wonderful tannins from the wood, all the way up to 23 years, and using the Solera system. Super wonderful, complex, adds a lot of variety and complexity to this cocktail. So we've got all of our ingredients. Next, we're going to add our ice. Fill up your shaking vessel almost all the way to the top. Okay. Your stirring spoon, and you stir away. You want to stir this pretty thoroughly. This is mostly, literally all booze. The booze itself has some water content to it, but we just put a bunch of booze together. So the way we're going to cook this is it's like putting something in the oven when you stir a cocktail. You let it marinate and do its thing, constant, even temperature over a longer period of time without shocking the ingredients, without aerating it. You want to keep that viscosity, that mouthfeel that the spirits hold themselves in your final cocktail, while adding a fair amount of water content to the drink. Okay, lovely. If you're following along and making the drink, great job. You're doing wonderfully. Grab your coupe glass. Lovely chilled coupe. I like to throw in the freezer ahead of time as I start to make the drink. Serving cocktails off ice. This way, it'll keep the cocktail's temperature longer. Try when you're drinking this, it's sort of like holding white wine. You don't want to hold it from here. Your hand will warm the cocktail. Keep it as cold as long as possible. I'm going to strain this cocktail. off ice. We don't want it to sit on that ice too long. We don't want to dilute any more than we want. Okay. And then you grab your grapefruit. You could also use a lemon to garnish a pigtail. Take a channel knife like so. You really want to coat your citrus oil all on top of the cocktail. Really with this one, as much as you can. The way it was described to me is you want it to look like a redneck's driveway. So much oil that, yeah, it's like it's spilling from a leaky truck. This definitely adds, it looks really cool, the pigtail. You twirl it around like this, you give it a little, encourage the springiness to it, and you put it in the glass, but you really want to add that brightness, that citrus introduction with this, with the garnish. And voila, a cocktail for you, because why not? Cheers.